Good evening. Good evening. Just waiting for a few more people to come in. Go ahead and like. Good evening. Good evening. Just waiting for a few more people to come in. Go ahead. And just go ahead and like the live, and we'll wait a few, and then we'll go ahead and just get started. I apologize for making the late announcement, but that's how it goes sometimes. I wasn't planning on doing it tonight, but I had a couple of requests, so I'm just going to go ahead. And we'll be here for about an hour. If you want to come on up, let me go ahead and share the link. So if you guys want to come up, you can. Oh, if you hear some music in the background, that's a neighbor. I don't know if they're having a party or something, but yeah, that's where we are right now in terms of the noise. But yeah, so just go ahead and say hello in the chat, and give me about another 2 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Just want to make sure uh, folks are coming in. And if you'd like to come on up, here's the link. I'm sharing the link. So just tap the link if you have something to say. I know there are a couple of people that have some thoughts on the upcoming F1 race that's going to be in the community this week. And so if you're not aware of that, Formula One race takes place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so you need to be prepared for the traffic. If you're new to Miami Gardens, we will be bombarded with some traffic. And this is what our 4th year of Formula One race. So just make sure that you prepare yourself and how you need to move forward in terms of where you need to go logistically. So with that, all right, we can go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone. My name is Chris Malcolm, and this is Miami Gardens Now. Tap in Miami Gardens. And this is the second show, so thank you for showing up. Very much appreciated. And I don't have a specific topic tonight, as there are quite a few things that took place this week. Some of the things I talked about last week in terms of like North Miami Beach water, where we are with that, as well as the speed zone. That's a hotbed topic that's been going on for at least 2 weeks since I posted the video on the Instagram page. And I wanted to just go ahead and start with that because I just posted a little clip from last week's show where I broke down the $100. What does it mean to, in terms of the $100 and how it's broken down, where the funds going? Because I know that's a question folks are wondering why they're getting charged, who's getting the money. And so I break that down, and I'm going to go ahead and just bring that up again so that you guys are aware of where the funds are going, and who to ask as to get a breakdown of how much money the city, the county, the state, uh, who's getting the money, what they're doing with the money, and how does that improve the school speed zone in the community. All right, so let me go ahead and get started with that. So first of all, I want to make it very clear. This school speed zone is not a Miami Gardens thing. It's a state of Florida thing, right? Because this is something that was signed into law by Governor DeSantis on May 31st, 2023. It's House Bill 657, which provides that municipalities may enforce the applicable speed limit within a properly maintained school zone through the use of speed detection systems. Now, the city of Miami Gardens in January and February of 2024 had a first and second reading regarding this particular House bill where they implemented that into the City of Miami Gardens ordinance and the Chapter 24 of the City of Miami Gardens ordinance to be exact. So I just wanted to let you guys know that is not just a Miami Gardens thing, it's a state of Florida law. Okay, so here's the breakdown of the $100. And if you want to see a little bit more, you want to send the video, the actual video is on the Instagram page. So you can just take a look at that and send it to whomever you want so that they know the $100 and where that's being spent or split up. So $20 must be remitted to the Department of Revenue for deposit into the General Revenue Fund. Okay, $60 shall be retained by the city and must be used to administer speed detection systems in school zones and other public safety initiatives. Okay, so we're up to $80 right there. $3 must be remitted to the Department of Revenue for deposit into the Department of Law Enforcement, Criminal Justice Standards and Training Trust Funds. $12 must be remitted to the Miami-Dade County School District and must be used for school security initiatives for student transportation or to improve the safety of student walking conditions. And $5 shall be retained by the city for school crossing guard recruitment and retention program pursuant to Florida Statute 316.1894. So that's your $100. 65 of those $100 goes to the city. In this case, we are in the City of Miami Gardens. So 65 of those goes to the City of Miami Gardens. $60 is to administer the speed detection system. And then $5 is to retain and recruit school crossing guards. So just want you to be aware that it's not just the City of Miami Gardens situation, it's a state of Florida situation. It's not just here. I know I saw a lot of comments over the past week where folks are saying, oh, it's Miami Gardens and they're trying to steal. No, it's a state of Florida situation. So no matter where you are, you're possibly on the cusp, if you will, of getting a ticket if you're not paying attention to where you're driving. Okay. All right. So moving on, North Miami Beach water. This week, Senator Chevron Jones was on the Senate floor and he spoke about the North Miami Beach water and what the impact it has on the City of Miami Gardens residents. And so residents in the City of Miami Gardens have been paying a 25% surcharge fee since, gosh, I want to say almost since the inception of the city itself, right? This we have to remember, and I'm just going to bring it back to what I stated last week. North Miami Beach owns a lot of water facilities throughout Miami-Dade County, right? The first one being Sunny Isles, and that was in the late 1940s, early 50s. They bought Sunny Isles, and then to they moved on to own a lot more. We're talking about Miami Gardens, Aventura, Golden Beach, Sunny Isles, East Miami-Dade, which includes Haulover, North Miami-Dade, which is Otis, and of course, North Miami Beach. So Miami Gardens, there are two. There's one in the Norwood Norland area, and there's actually one in Myrtle Grove, right beside Myrtle Grove Park. There's a location right there. So excuse me, that is something to note. And it's been a hardship on a lot of residents here in the city. And so you have House Bill 11 and Senate Bill 202. House Bill 11 passed on the House on March 26th. And then the House bill just passed. Now, I think it has to be sent back to, the Senate bill just passed, but I think it has to be sent back to the House to amend some wording, and then it's going forward to the governor's desk to be signed. So fingers crossed for all of those folks in the City of Miami Gardens who are North Miami Beach water residents. North Miami Beach water customers. And this would be such a huge, hello. um, uh, savior for a lot of people, right? Because I've heard, folks paying 400, 500, 600, $700 for water. I think it's absolutely crazy because water is a necessity. And it's it's crazy to think that you have this law, but this is a law that's been around on the books for quite some time. This is not something that's new. This is not something that's specific to Miami Gardens. This is something that's been around for decades. Because during my research, I've seen articles of people in Myrtle Grove in the 1950s who were complaining that North Miami Beach were charging them an excessive amount for water. And we're talking about at this point, I think they were talking about $5 for water. I mean, obviously we're looking at the time, so $5 to us is nothing, but back then it was a lot of money. And so this is not some new thing. It's just that now they have been able to utilize the full extent, which is fully 25% surcharge, and that's what they're doing. And one of the things that was noted is that it's a hardship on the city of North Miami Beach for them not to have the funds coming from Miami Gardens, where, as Senator Jones has stated, no, it's really not, because it's going into the general fund. So how can it be a hardship on North Miami Beach if the money that's being collected from Miami Gardens residents is not directly um, going to something specific in North Miami Beach? They're putting the money into a general fund, right? Into their general fund. So that could be for anything. That could be for anything. And so if you, and I'll upload the video where Senator Jones is talking and Senator Pizzo, and I know you guys have heard what went on with that. I'm not going to go into that, right? Because that's everywhere. You can check other places. So I'm not going into that. I'm specifically talking about the impact of what this will do for residents in the city of Miami Gardens and how this will help them to really save so much money. Now, I know there's 10% that the city of Miami Gardens has added on to that. So that's something I know residents have questions about, the 10%. Um, you know, Again, they're going to have to explain that 10%, because I've been to meetings where folks have asked, what is this 10% about? Why are they paying the 10%? And there are people from the city of Miami Gardens who kind of dodge that question. And that's something that you have to wonder, why are they dodging it? Answer the question. That's what needs to be answered. All right. So that's pretty much there. That on that. Now we're talking about Formula One. Formula One, is it's coming up this weekend. What is that? May 1st, 2nd, somewhere around there. So we're talking about this upcoming weekend. We're gonna have Formula One, and like I said before, please be prepared for the traffic. I will be putting up, what I usually do is put up where the parking locations are going to be in the city, so that you have an awareness of where to not drive or not get caught up in some of the traffic that's usually here. But one of the things that I want you to do, and folks have been doing it since the past couple of years, is to pay attention to where you're having issues, i.e., traffic, because now we no longer have the 35 acres or the sand lot that's right off of 27th Avenue and Northwest 189th Street, 191st Street. That's no longer a viable place for parking. And I think they said that it was up to 1,000 cars were parked there. So that's no longer, because that's going to be the downtown area, or the downtown area for the city of Miami Gardens. So that's going to be under construction. Where are folks going? I haven't delved into the parking information yet, and I'll do that tonight to see exactly where it is. And I'll try to put it up by tomorrow, Monday, the latest, so that folks are aware of where these parking lots are located or where the parking situation is, and so that you can be aware, right? Because there's an ordinance, clean zone ordinance, which I think just passed, or it was amended and passed this week. Yeah, this past Wednesday, regarding the clean zone. Now, the clean zone for Miami Gardens is usually uh, surrounding the stadium up to County Line Road, 27th Avenue, I think the maybe 12th Avenue, somewhere around there, or maybe 14th Avenue, and then down to I think 167 area. And that area, what it is that you can't, they want to stop all of the rogue pedicab petty what do you call it, golf cart drivers who are recklessly driving. I don't have an issue with folks making their money. I have an issue with folks recklessly doing it. That's a problem. And I know I've seen too many people just on the sidewalk with their pedicabs, you know, U-turning, just randomly U-turning in the middle of the street, cutting folks off and trying to get their fares. Again, I don't have an issue with it, but I have like the all of the other, what do you call it, Lyft drivers, Uber, they have a space. The taxi drivers, they have a space. If you have a pedicab, golf cart, there needs to be a space, a pickup, drop off area or something. There has to be an area, has to be a way to do it better, because what's going to happen is someone's going to get hurt, and then it's not going to be a proactive situation, it's going to be a reactive situation. And we can get that settled prior to, it'd be better. And we won't have to deal with a lot of the hubbub, because there's a video that I have. I don't know if I have it open, but on my on this YouTube page, I have a video recorded from Rolling Loud, and you see all of the traffic. And this is 37th Avenue. This is not even the stadium. This is 37th Avenue, a little bit below 207. Okay, so just want you to be aware of that. Also, upcoming next month, well, what are we in? April. So in June, next month, we're going to have the first of a few games of the Copa, not Copa, what do you call it? FIFA games, right? So this is not the main game, which is 2026, but these are the Club Cup games, and there are about 8 of them. And several of these games are during the week, 3 o'clock, which means what? Folks are not going to show up at 3 o'clock. They're going to show up at 9 o'clock. We have to be aware. And that's something I don't see the city. I have not. I could be wrong. Please leave it in the chat if you've seen the city post something regarding this Club Cup game that's coming up, starting the first game, I think is June 14th. I've not seen anything at all from the city of Miami Gardens regarding the game. I've not seen anything specific to anything regarding Formula One outside of what is given from the stadium. The city posts that in terms of the um the the traffic. That's it. Other than that, I've not seen anything else, and that's something that we need to pay attention to, because again, I'm working with some folks outside of the city of Miami Gardens, so I'm not city of Miami, but just to make sure that residents are not going to have to deal with that Copa situation that a lot of folks dealt with last year during the Copa Cup situation in August or July of last year. We don't want that again. We don't want, individuals who are going to the game to then just feel emboldened to park into someone's yard. We don't want that. Park anywhere, sell whatever they want, jumping over walls and all that kind of stuff. No, we live in a suburban area, and we need to make sure that folks who come into this area respect the area, not just the stadium. Respect the area that you're entering into, because people live here, right? Um, so that's on that. This Wednesday, April 30th, is the Bessie Stringfield street naming ceremony. And for those who don't know who Bessie Stringfield was or is, she was a motorcyclist who lived in the Bunch Park area. She did not live in the actual city of Miami Gardens, because it was, Bunch Park, Opelika Bunch Park area at the time when she was alive. However, she's noted as the only Black civilian woman mail carrier. And that's important, because we want to recognize the individuals in our community, Black, white, or whomever, uh, and what they've done, history, because as you can see in not only the state of Florida, but throughout these United States, history is being attacked. Black history specifically is being censored. And we have the ability to not only make a marker and to acknowledge Miss Bessie, but also tell her story. And I'm working on a video that I have, hopefully, my computer, because you guys know from last week, my computer's still doing the thing. So hopefully, fingers crossed that it works and I'll have the video up regarding Miss Bessie and the tribute that was given to her a few years ago when they went to about 300 women motorcyclists rode down from Daytona Beach and they rode to her home, and it was a beautiful sight. They left. There were several proclamations, and then Bee Hines, who is the first Black woman journalist for the Miami Herald, she actually was the first person to interview Bessie Stringfield. She was there and she honored Miss Bessie as well. So that is the street naming that's coming up. If you're able to come, I think it's at 10, but I'm going to go ahead and post that information as soon as I get off. I'll post it on the page and in the stories. So please come out. I've been researching Miss Bessie before, and so someone knew I was doing some research about her, told me, "Hey, uh, I think you need to come and take a look at this ride these women are doing out here." And so I interviewed some of the women and recorded the video as they're coming down the street. And there is a movie about her. They were filming the movie while we were out there. I didn't know at the time what the film was going to be about. I still haven't seen it myself, but it it was up for a possible Oscar. It didn't make it, but still, nonetheless, folks know who she is. And quite frankly, there are a lot of people who live outside of the city of Miami Gardens that actually know about Bessie B. Stringfield. I've spoken to so many people in Miami Gardens, and they have no idea who she is, never heard of her name, nothing. And I've spoken to people who don't live here at all visiting, and they know about Bessie B. Stringfield. So that tells you a lot about the lack of history that we have here in the city of Miami Gardens. Also, in the next, think about, yeah, and 2 weeks after, we're going to have another street naming ceremony for another lady. Her name is Joannie Cox Roll. And she was one of many residents who lived in the Bunch Park area and was there when Bunch Park didn't even have a name, right? So we're talking about the late 1940s, I think 1950s. And when there was no park, no school, no church, no nothing, just a few houses, and that was it. Bunch Park, for those who don't know, was built like Richmond Heights for Black World War II veterans. Again, history that is in our face that we don't know, that's not being told, and it's not being highlighted here in the city of Miami Gardens. I'll say it. If no one else wants to say it, I'll say it. It's not being highlighted here in the city of Miami Gardens. And the reason why I say that is this year, Richmond Heights celebrated 75 years, right? Bunch Park there should have been a celebration for Bunch Park, yet there's no marker for Bunch Park. There's no, when you're going into Bunch Park or Rainbow Park for that matter, you see nothing that denotes Bunch Park except the actual park itself that has the name. And so that's something that we need to change. The city actually does have a historic advisory committee or board. I'm not sure whatever the name is. They do have, and I think there's only one person on it. I've been trying to get on it for some time now, and I think I'm possibly on it now. After I've folks see what I'm doing outside of Miami Gardens, and they realize that I'm not just talking. I'm doing the work outside of the city of Miami Gardens and preserving history outside of the city of Miami Gardens. And there are actually a few people who work for the city of Miami Gardens who've seen what I've done and said to me, why am I not doing it in the city of Miami Gardens? Well, the city of Miami Gardens is not cooperating. So I'm going to do what I do on my own, and hopefully the city gets on board with what I'm doing. And I know there's at least one council member who is definitely, well, two actually, that I know for sure that are on board with preserving history and telling history of the city and not just lip service. Okay, so Joannie Cox Roll, her daughter Miss Connie Roll. I don't know if she's on here, but she tried for some time to get the street naming after her mom. As a matter of fact, both Joanne E. Cox Roll street naming and Bessie B. Stringfield, I think that they were trying to get them around the same time, and for whatever reason, I don't know what happened, if it's politicking or what, just never happened. It happened this year, and fingers crossed. And we're happy that it both of those passed, and it was worth while telling both of their stories. So if you want to see a little bit about Joannie Cox Roll and her two daughters, you can go on the Instagram page of Miami Gardens Now, and it's the first video I have pinned. So, and that video is the first time I met any of those people in the video, because I had not heard of her. I didn't know who she was. I was like, who is this person, Joannie Cox Roll? Why are they honoring her? And so I interviewed Miss Connie, her sister, niece, her son, her nephew, to get a backstory. And then in turn, we're learning about Joannie Cox Roll. I learned about the Bunch Park. All right. And so I think that's pretty much it. If anyone wants to come up and talk about anything, I know I had two people that wanted to come up earlier, so that's why I'm on live. But if no one's interested, I'm just gonna go ahead and end the live early, and I'll go ahead and put some of the information in the on the Instagram, and if you're following on WhatsApp or Facebook, all of the information regarding the video from Senator Jones, as well as the paperwork. Oh, also, if you're North Miami Beach Water resident customer, excuse me, there is a class action lawsuit that was filed by the city of Miami Gardens. They've received $9 million from the city of North Miami Beach. If you have not filled out the application to get some of that money back, please do. Please go ahead and do your due diligence, because as of right now, I was reading through the actual lawsuit, and it says that in 2024, sorry about that. In 2024, the city received in escrow $2.5 million of the $9 million. So $2.5 million is sitting in an escrow account since October 2024. All right. And they're supposed to be receiving the next $6.5 million, I think, sometime later on this year. You have until January of 2020. What are we in 25? So 2026. I think January 31st or something of 2026 to file. Do not wait. I don't know who's a part of that lawsuit, because the class action lawsuit, because if it's just residents, then I would hope that you get a lot the money. But if we're talking about the stadium, the county, which includes the library, some of the supermarkets, Walmart, all of those are North Miami Beach Water customers. Now, again, I don't know who's a part of that. I have to go through the 13 pages and read through it. And if you get a chance, please do so, especially if you're someone who is a customer. You want to know where that money is. You want to get some of that money back, right? It's important. So with that, okay, I think that is about it. I don't think I have anything else that I want to talk about at the moment. Oh, yesterday, I spoke. Oh, I was a part of the Arbor Day event, and that was a great thing to see that a lot of folks came out to help, and Councilwoman Powell as well as the mayor. They were also in attendance of at the Arbor Day event, and it's beautiful. And I would love to have seen all of the council members, right? Because this is helping the seniors in our community, and it's one thing I hear a lot about, saying, a lot about helping seniors, and this was a perfect example of just coming out, putting your differences aside, and helping the seniors in the community. And I've only saw Councilwoman uh, Powell out there along with the mayor. Okay, so just take that into consideration when folks are telling you that they're out there, and when there's something like this so important that happen, and you only see a few people showing up and donating, right? Because I think those are the only two, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Please quote me. Don't quote me, but just let me know if there was someone else who, which other council members who added to the sponsoring of the Arbor Day event. And I think that's it. So if anyone wants to come up, if you have an event that's going on or something that just took place, and you want to talk about it, go ahead and do that, and just click the link. And if not, we're going to just go ahead and end it, because I know, like I said, I know it was a last minute um, that I put the information, because I didn't really think I was going to go live tonight, quite frankly. But someone asked to go live, so I'm here. And now they're not here because they don't want to. They don't want to come up to talk about what they wanted to talk about. So that's okay. That's all right. It's not a big deal. I just this is going to be a platform where you're going to be able to do so, and I'll go live at I think 7 o'clock on Saturdays is probably where I'm going to stay going live for right now. I may do it sometime in the middle of the week if need be, but right now 7 o'clock on Saturdays seems to be the okay time to do it. And I think that's really it. And let me see. Let me check one more thing. Oh, so also with the agenda for last week, there was what's her name? I think her name is Althea Campbell, and that was a consent agenda item. So I think that passed for the magistrate to oversee the tickets, because like I said, I saw someone on my page a couple days ago. She got 8 tickets. 8 tickets. That is wild. I think 8 tickets in one day or something, if I'm not mistaken, too. So that goes to show you there were a lot of people that are not aware of the signs. And for those who are asking about the flashing lights, the $60 that's a part of the one that makes up the $100. I think that's something that you could actually bring forth to the city and say, hey, because you guys have to use the funds in a way to um, where is it, to administer school speed detection system and other public safety initiatives. That is a part of a public safety initiative. And I think using the $60 to get the flashing lights that so many people have been questioning, why do we not have flashing lights to remind folks to slow down, especially because these school speed zones go on for the entire school day. This is a perfect example. This is the breakdown that you need to have to say, hey, I know how much, I know it's $100, and I know how much the city is getting to use for this purpose. And we should use some of those funds for this purpose. That's what I think. If you're going to bring that up to a council member, definitely have this agenda. I'm going to put the link. I try to put the link in in the the broadcast channel, but for whatever reason, the link's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the Instagram page. You can get the link for this particular agenda item with all the information regarding the school zone camera program. And then if you're on the WhatsApp pages or any of the text threads, then I'll put the direct link there and you can just get it and download it yourself. And then you'll have that information yourself, as well as the City of Miami Gardens, all the question and answers that people ask about what is the school zone, what does the photo enforcement mean, and all of that stuff. It gives you a great breakdown within 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after the start of this breakfast program. That's the beginning of the school speed zone situation. Okay. So if no one has anything else or have anything to say, I'm going to go ahead and just end the show. And I will see you guys next week. And again, if you have any topics that you want to talk about that you feel are being overlooked, send me a DM, or, you guys know how to reach me, or if you see me in person, I'm out wherever. Um, so you can always just let me know, hey, this is a good topic to talk about, because again, I have a lot of things that I want to delve into. But because this show's going to be, let me see what it says. No other city. What does it say here? Let's see what it says here. No other city would not inform the citizens after the hidden lights are placed. I can't speak on any other cities. I'm only going to speak on this one because I don't know. But this is the time to definitely bring it up and let them know, because I don't know which meetings are coming up next. But I think maybe Councilman Stevens might be having meetings soon in the next 2 weeks or so, and that's a perfect statement to make and say, hey, there is a can I tell you, there is a straight disconnect with informing the residents. There's a disconnect, because I'm thoroughly surprised at the reaction to the video I did. That's 200,000 views just on that one video. And the comments are when I say all day long for the past 2 weeks, all day long. And I'm going through the comments and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize this was a thing. And folks are not aware. I've spoken to people this week who were completely not aware that there are two different signs. The one that's for the regular school zone from say 7:15 to 8:15, which are the 15-mile-per-hour school zone, and then the one where it changes to 30 or 40, wherever you are, because it all varies. And then you have the 10-mile buffer, and if you go over 11 miles, then have the possibility of getting a ticket. Folks did not notice that. They don't know. They honestly thought it was just 15 miles an hour for the entire school day. And I'm like, no, no, no. You need a 10-mile buffer. So if it's 30, you have 40. If you go 41, you're getting a ticket. This is another thing I want to give a heads up. I saw they were putting up the cameras in front of Brentwood Elementary. If they're putting up the cameras this week, next week, or whenever you see them putting up a camera, you have 30-day warning at the time those particular cameras are going up. Those particular cameras. When that particular camera goes up, you have 30 days from that camera going up and going live before you get a ticket. That's why I always say, and that's why I say in the video, you have the possibility of getting a $100 ticket, because right now it was stated at I forgot which meeting I was at, that only 50% of the cameras are up. If you drive in front of Carroll City High School, you'll see that on 183rd Street, there are no cameras. And you would think there would be cameras there because that's a heavily trafficked area. There are no cameras there now. There are no cameras right now. But that's why I tell folks, if you're in an area where you see a school or school zone or school sign, that means there's a school in the area. Just drive the general speed of the area. I know folks want to buck on out of there and hit it. I'm the same. I'm not gonna lie. However, I just try to keep it as chill as possible, or I drive a back road to get where I gotta go and call it a day. But I live in an area, me personally, I live in an area, I have about 7 schools. around me. So I have a Catholic school and a 7-day Adventist school, and then a couple of elementaries, one's high school and one middle school, right? So I have a lot of schools in between or just surrounding where I live. So I have to kind of be mindful. And I think the last one, I think Carroll City High School, their school zone is 6:20. Theirs starts 6:20 or something. And then the middle school ends at 4:20. So you see what I'm saying? So that's like almost 12 hours. That's almost 12 hours of school and of this potential light camera going on. So I think that's wild, me personally, but you just have to stay within the zone, and just watch out. Just watch out. That's all I can tell you. But there is a list of schools and when I put up the information, I'll put up the list of schools that have cameras that are going to be going up, or some may have cameras up already. I don't know which ones are up and not up because I'm not the city. I just go on there and I just try to find out the information. Then whatever information I find out, I let you guys know about. Or some people let me know, and then I pass that information on to you, because I know there's, again, a disconnect in the information sometimes in this city. And I've said it to them. So this is not some new thing that I'm saying. I've directly said it. There's a disconnect in the information that's disseminated to the residents in the city of Miami Gardens. That's fact. That's facts. That's straight facts. And so when people are still talking about the fact that they're getting $100 tickets, or they're getting warnings and they didn't know anything about this particular, there's a disconnect. So let folks just pivot on how we tell folks the information. And I brought up the fact that maybe we should have the newsletter come out a little bit more frequently. And they don't have to be an actual hard copy. It could be, you could send it in the email or something, text message, WhatsApp. It can be done in alternative ways without costing so much money. But then again, folks look at how much money is being spent on Juneteenth, and then they say, well, why can't you spend this money on the newsletter? You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different things that are happening on one side, but yet on the other side, there's like, why can't we do it? Furthermore, moving on to something else. If you're wherever you are in the city of Miami Gardens, if there's a garden in your park that's close to you, or even if it's not close to you, if you're near a park in the city of Miami Gardens that has a garden, as a resident, the vegetables in the garden are for you. Are for you. Let me see what this says. Let's see. Transparency. A Lyft driver who lives in Medley said he got a ticket. Allegedly, this seems to be targeting our residents, perhaps not by Miami Gardens, perhaps by others. Did they get they got the ticket in Miami Gardens? Who lives in Medley? Because I think Medley has this same I don't know if they have their cameras up yet too, but um yeah. That's what I'm saying. When I did the post, I said, listen, if you or someone who doesn't live here, because people pass through Miami Gardens is a pass through city. You're passing from Miramar to go here, or you're going here to go to Broward. So we're kind of right on the cusp we're on County Line Road, literally. Oh, okay. The cameras. That's the thing. It's a state. Yep. Unfortunately it's a state law that a lot of people think it's a Miami Gardens thing, but it's technically not Miami Gardens. It's the state of Florida that enacted this law, and he's just gonna have to just don't speed. That's the only thing I could say. Don't speed. Just whatever the speed limit is, you can go 10 miles above that. I'll put it that way. So they're giving you, if it's 40, you can go 50. If it's 30, you can go 40. If you go 41 or 51, you're going to get a ticket, possibly. That's it. That's all. You're going to get a ticket. So, you know, it sucks because $100, it's not like it's a $20 ticket. It's $100. So imagine the person that got 8 tickets in one day, $800. in this day and age of what's going on in this economy is just, it's wild to me. I don't get it. You know, uh, wow, I don't know. But regarding the gardens in the city, the gardens, I'm not going to speak on the senior center because that's its own thing over there. So I'm going to leave them over there. But any garden in the city of Miami Gardens that's located in a park, we're talking about Carroll City Park, Bennett Lifter, what's the other one? Betty T. Ferguson, Cloverleaf, Norwood Park, Bunch Park. I think AJ King Park. Those parks all have. I'm missing one. I think I'm missing one. But all of Rolling Oaks Park. But Rolling Oaks, you have to. I think there's a specific day and time you have to get those because that's the largest garden in the city. So I'm gonna leave Rolling Oaks out of it. So all the other parks that I named, you can go to those parks. Bring a bag. Bring a cutting device because you never know if they have one or not, and you can go to the park and you can get fresh vegetables for free. Free, free 99. Okay? So if they're telling you no, you cannot get the vegetables, you absolutely can get the vegetables for free. Paulette Murphy is the head of the parks department. Trust me, I know they know me. they know me because I'm like, yo, if this is free, why do I have to go through hell and high water to get the free vegetables that are rotting out here and you guys are not giving them away? Free tomatoes, cucumbers, collard greens, kale, what is it, basil, what else is out there? I got carrots, um, what else? Eggplants. All of these are rosemary. All of these plants and all of these vegetables are free for you guys to have, to cook, to eat, completely free. If you don't know where the gardens are located, just go inside and ask, the person, hey, I'd like to get some fresh vegetables out of the garden, and let them know you're interested in the vegetables. It's there for you guys. It's there for you guys. So don't let it go to waste because things are very expensive. Now, when it comes to the senior center, I know on Fridays, and maybe some other days they give out, but they have fruits. They have a botanical garden, which is technically not the senior center, although they say it's the senior center. But okay, whatever. The fruit garden or the botanical garden, they have jackfruit. Jackfruit is the largest fruit in the world, right? Jackfruit's not cheap. You can get a half or not even half, a quarter of a jackfruit fruit, and it'll be like $25. It's not cheap. So for them to rot away at the senior center, again, waste, waste. Please, if you attend the senior center, take a look at the jackfruit tree. I went over there the other day, completely filled with jackfruit, star fruit, Barbados cherry, sweet sop, mangoes. All of these are at the senior center. They're not the senior center garden that's next to the building. It's the actual botanical garden, the big trees. Noonie. Look up what Noonie is. Noni. Noonie. Look at the benefits of Noonie. Moringa. They have bay leaf tree. They had a coffee tree there. I don't know what happened to it. It looks like they cut it down. They had a peach tree. I know they have more than one. I saw that they cut one of them down. All of these, a bay leaf, bay leaf that you cook with bay leaf, the leaf, that tree is there. All of those are there free for people. Hi, Gail. How are you? Thanks for coming in. Let me see what it says here. I can't see when this thing is, so I have to put it up. What's your name and contact them? Oh, my name is Chris Malcolm, and my page is Miami Gardens Now. Are you on Instagram, Facebook? You can reach me on either one of those platforms. Uh, um, Instagram, Facebook. I have a TikTok as well, and I have an X page, but I'm not really on that, so I wouldn't waste time on going on there. But if you're on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you can definitely reach me. Or if not, you can reach me at let me type it in here, Miami Gardens Now at I can't even type, at gmail.com. You can contact me there. Yeah, you can contact me there. Oh, it didn't go through. Maybe it did. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can contact me there. because well, it's supposed to be Miami Gardens now. I think I made a mistake, but yeah, Miami Gardens now, and you can contact me there because I want you guys to know that there's so many things available for you in this city, and if you don't know about it, then it goes to waste, right? We have a trolley system that's available that a lot of people don't take advantage of. We have the golden ticket book. That's a county that's a county initiative, okay? You can get the golden ticket book at the library. The books are there. It's a yellow book at the desk at the libraries where the librarians are sitting in the front. If you go on the other side of the desk, the books are there. That will allow you, give you the opportunity to attend like a lot of events for free if you're over. I think you have to be over the age of 55 years old or something like that. And that's available for you. So why not take advantage of it? I know there was conversations of bringing services. Actually, I was having the conversation. If not, it was yesterday. I was having the conversation about bringing the golden pass, or I think it's golden. What is it called? Somebody write in the chat, please. I think it's a golden pass. That you can use the bus pass that you can use in the bus or the metro rail and bringing the services closer because I think you have to go downtown to go a government center to get that. So just make it easier for folks who are here. That way, if you want to you don't want to drive or you don't drive, you can take the bus and you can come on up. Let's see what this is here. Boots on the ground. Oh, I'll do that. I didn't want to go into that too much because I know, but the third term, is that what you're talking about? The third term? So the third term situation, for those who are not aware, um, that's still a possibility. I know, like I said last week, that it was put out there, but I don't know what that is. If that's a sorry, if you heard that, I don't know what that noise was, but it sounded like somebody had a bomb or something. But at any rate, the third term situation is regarding Councilwoman Wilson brought up having a third term. And so when that didn't go through and you had a lot of residents come through, like I stated on last week's show, she noted in her her meeting, I should say last week, that it's not there and that the mayor said that he's not going to bring it back. Well, the mayor is not the be all end all to anything because the mayor has to what? Vote like everyone else. They have 7 people there and all 7 of them vote on the same thing. So this is what I tell everyone all the time when I post things on my page or if I see them in person. You can go to anyone's meeting, any of the council members' meeting. You don't have to live in that particular area because you know what? When they vote, they all have to vote on the same thing, even if it's not in their area. So don't get in the mindset that, oh, I don't live over here, I can't go here. I go to everybody's meeting. If I can, I try to go to everyone's meeting at least once just to see what they're talking about. And I'm talking about these council members. You absolutely can go there. They're your council member. Does not matter if you don't live in their particular area or whatever. You absolutely can go there and you can find out, you can ask questions, and they should know what's going on in other parts of the city. Because guess what? They're voting on things that impact other parts of the city. So they should have an awareness, just like there are a bunch of residents on here who have an awareness of what's going on in other parts of the city. They should know the same as well. So that's on that. Do you guys have anything that you want to share? Let me see. Do you guys have anything you want to share? I know there's a couple of people want to share some things. If not, we're coming up on the top of the hour, so there's 5 minutes left in this particular show. And or you can come on stage. The link is let me put the link here. I don't know. Well, the link you guys should be able to see the link, but that's okay. The link is here. If you want to come up and say anything, say something. If not, that's okay. It's all right. I know some of you guys are shy. You're not shy. I know you're not, but okay. Okay. But I think that's about it. So we talked about the school zone and we talked about North Miami Beach water. Those are two things I just kind of wanted to talk about and kind of get those out of the way just to make sure that we are clear on what's going on with both of those. And I know the school zone situation is still going to be something that's an ongoing conversation because trust me, my Instagram is like dinging all day long for the past 2 weeks just on this school zone uh light situation. So that's a situation there. Um hmm. If that's it, anyone else? Last call, last call. Boots on the ground. I know there was some dancing going on yesterday at Betty T. And so, yeah. So with that being said, I thank you very much for showing up. I apologize for the very, very, very late announcement that I was having this show, but like I said, someone asked to um, go live tonight, and I did, and then they didn't show up. So, or they're in the chat, or they're there, they just don't want to talk, which is fine. They could talk. Listen, you don't have to come up on stage and talk if you don't want to. You absolutely can just write in the chat whatever your questions are, like Beverly did. You can go ahead and write in the chat whatever your questions or thoughts are, and I can just we can have a discussion that way. If it's easier for you, if you feel more comfortable that way, that's fine. Because like I said, I'm doing it on this level because sometimes I get a lot of questions on things and I don't want to type all the time. It's just easier for me to answer the question by me talking about it to you in this format. And I think it's just an easier format to connect with the community. Okay. So with that being said, I thank you very much. And if I don't see you next week, have a nice day, but I'm sure I'll see quite a few of you guys on Wednesday at the Bessie B. Stringfield street naming ceremony over there in Bunch Park in front of her last residence. And as they say, I bid adieu. Goodbye.